WWE X Awesome X Stuff.
Hello, and I'm giving you the results from WrestleMania 28, which I just finished watching about 25 minutes ago. I watched it live on TV, on the main event, because I'm in Australia. Now, the first match of the night was Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, Daniel Bryan was the World Heavyweight Champion. This match was a record-breaking 18 seconds. Sheamus, of course, winning this match to regain the World Heavyweight Championship of the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I'll just describe what happened in this match. Both superstars entered the ring. The bell rang, but Daniel Bryan called for his girlfriend AJ to come up onto the wire for a good luck kiss. They kissed, he turned around, and Sheamus delivered a devastating bro kick to his face, leaving Daniel Bryan on the mat knocked out, for Sheamus to get the pin on him and get the World Heavyweight Championship. So now, Sheamus is your new World Heavyweight Champion. That match was, I thought it was going to go a lot longer than that, but still, it was the outcome I wanted, but it could have always been better than that. It could have gone for, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 minutes of wrestling, just that was really boring. But it was exciting to see Sheamus as our new World Heavyweight Champion. I give that a 2.5 stars out of 5. Thank you. Next match was, I think it was Randy Orton versus Kane. Kane, of course, winning this match with a devastating chokeslam off the second rope. Randy Orton attempted, I think, 3 RKOs in that match. All failed. Kane, 2 chokeslams, one a normal chokeslam and the other off the top rope. Now, at the beginning of this match, Randy Orton dominated Kane, but as the match went on, Kane came back as when he suplexed him onto the wire, then coming in with a huge, devastating big boot to Randy Orton, to the temple of Randy Orton here. That was pretty much the turning point of the match, where Randy Orton was taken out. So Randy Orton losing that match and Kane getting a victory over him in like a year or something now. Finally getting a victory over Randy Orton ever since he disappeared and then came back. And yes. The next match, one of the other matches, I'm not sure if this was one in order, but it was the Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental Championship. This, of course, the championship changed hands for the 7th time at WrestleMania. The Intercontinental Championship had changed hands. Now, this match was won by the Weapon of Mass Destruction when Big Show connected with Cody Rhodes' face. Big Show dominated the entire matchup. Cody Rhodes, at the end, towards the end of it, made contact with the disaster kick, kicking Big Show in the face, and then didn't take Big Show out, so he did another one. He jumped up, Big Show went for the spear. It was a huge fail because Big Show hit him in the leg, and I thought he looked like he tore his groin because he was holding onto it. But that was a huge fail on Big Show's part. Wrong place at the wrong time. Just a mess there. But still, they went on as normal, got up, boom, connected with the Weapon of Mass Destruction, finishing the match, and to give Big Show his WrestleMania moment in singles competition. So now, new Intercontinental Champion, Big Show. That match, I love that match. That was one of my favorite matches in that whole thing. I would give that a 3 star out of 5. I loved that match. It was really good. Really good. Okay, we had the Divas match. It was Kelly teaming with Maria, the co-star of Extra, also on Dancing with the Stars, I believe, taking on Eve Torres and Dirk Lamazon Beth Phoenix. This of course was a Divas tag team match. Coming with the victory was Maria by pinning Beth Phoenix again for the second time in history, pinning her. Maria did a terrible job in the ring. She got belted and destroyed by the two Divas. Destroyed. She, of course, already suffering injured ribs and injured something with her foot. And they just used that to an advantage, targeting the ribs over and over. She was down, out. Yes. Eve interfering in that match when they were about to come up with the win once, when Kelly did that salt off the top rope, landing on Beth Phoenix for the I believe she would have got the win, but Eve, of course, had to interfere there. But still a pretty good match. I actually loved this match because it actually was the right time of a Divas match. You see, we really don't see that many Divas matches anymore that go for that long. This would have went for about, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. It's actually pretty good. And like you see those other Diva matches that will go for like 50 seconds or something. This was a huge improvement. Well, then again, it is WrestleMania. Yeah, but still, this match was one of my favorite Diva matches because of the length of time it went for. Okay, that match. It wasn't the greatest. I would have liked to see the Divas Championship on the line, but still, yes, I give it a 2.5 star. Okay, after that match, we saw. A bit on we saw Chris Jericho taking on CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Of course, CM Punk winning this match and retaining his WWE Championship. This match was a back and forward match. At the beginning, of course, John Laurinaitis added that stipulation: if CM Punk were to get disqualified, he would lose the WWE Championship. Of course, CM Punk obviously not getting disqualified and winning the title. This was back and forth, as I said. We saw a go to sleep, a code breaker. I think we saw about 3 attempts of the Walls of Jericho. No, 5 attempts of the Walls of Jericho, and I think he only locked in about twice. Then we saw like 2 go to sleeps. We saw the Anaconda Vice come into play about 3 times. Of course, that was the finishing move to take out Chris Jericho. Of course, this was back and forward. Chris Jericho yelling at CM Punk, "How's your father?" Quotes like that just to try and get on Punk's nerve and try and get him to like unleash his fury on him. But of course, CM Punk staying on top of that and is the best in the world by showing that by beating Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship and retaining it. Of course, this will not be the end of it. I am sure this will not be the end of this rivalry. I think it is only just beginning. Okay, this was actually better than I thought it would be. At the beginning, I found it completely pathetic. I did not like the beginning of it, but as they started getting physical, a bit more aggressive in the match, it seemed to get a bit better. I really didn't enjoy this match because, frankly, I don't really like CM Punk that much, and I'm not a big fan of Chris Jericho. I don't really find them interesting, but still, they're pretty good wrestlers. Okay, so this match, a 2.5 star. Sorry, but that's what I think. Okay. This was one of the most death-defying matches of the night. It was the end of an era match / Hell in a Cell match. This, of course, would have Triple H taking on The Undertaker with special guest referee Shawn Michaels. Yeah, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels was the special guest referee. This match was explosive. It was this was way better than last year's, to my opinion. I did love this match. I watched it, and it was just back and forward, tombstone, kicking out, pedigree, kicking out, super kick, pedigree, kicking out, tombstone, another tombstone, choke slams, just kept kicking out until it was finally done. Of course, Undertaker winning the match, making him 20-0 at WrestleMania. This was a pretty good match. It was like back and forward, lots of steel chair hits by Triple H. Of course, Shawn Michaels got a bit emotional in this match. He didn't like this match at all. He was actually broken down to tears when Triple H was hitting Undertaker with a steel chair. He was saying, and Triple H was yelling at him, "End it now, or I'll end it." He kept asking the Undertaker, "Are you okay? Can I ring the bell?" He's like, "No." And Undertaker kept saying, "No, don't ring the bell. Don't ring the bell. Don't ring the bell," okay? But finally, after he just kept asking him because he felt so sorry for him, Undertaker got him in the Hell's Gate. He put Shawn Michaels in the Hell's Gate, okay? And he just took out Shawn Michaels. And there was no referee for about 3 to 4 minutes in this matchup. Finally, another referee coming in. What was it? Yeah, Undertaker chokeslammed that ref, and he was out of it. But yeah, of course, Undertaker showing it. We did see the sledgehammer come into play. I thought it was over, and you know the most pathetic part of this matchup? Shawn Michaels went for it. It was 1, 2, 3, kicks out at number 4, and I don't know what happened there, but it was a fail because once again he counted 1, 2, going for the fourth one, and he kicked out. I don't know what was with that. Obviously, it was a mess up, but that was the biggest mistake of that match I have ever seen, because Triple H should have won it. Because it was a 3 count, not a 4 count. It was supposed to be a 3 count, not a 4 count. Okay, Shawn Michaels? 3 count, idiot. Sorry, I love you to death. I love the Heartbreak Kid, but come on. Really? Okay. Yes, of course, the highlight of this matchup was The Undertaker's new hairstyle. He came into the ring. As he lifted up, we heard a lightning strike, and he had no hair. He had cut his hair off. He only had, like, the one hair running all the way down the back. He had completely cut his hair off. Apparently, he was cutting his hair for every day Triple H wouldn't accept the challenge. Yes, well, and I felt so sorry for Triple H, because at the end they were so battered. You should have seen the welts on their backs from those chair hits. You should have just seen the welts. It was like glowing red on their back, cuts all over. It was just unreal. Okay, this is how really he won it, okay? At the end, Triple H went for the sledgehammer shot. Undertaker blocked it and held it there, and he was nodding, saying no, no. Triple H let go, pushed him back, and then Triple H is saying, I think he's saying, put me out, and then he did the suck it, and then of course, then Undertaker, he fell down, and he was looking up at the Undertaker, and Undertaker did that death sign, picked him up, and tombstoned him to the ground. He was out. It was like the 1, 2, 3, and Undertaker winning that match. And at the end, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels would help Triple H up and walk him up the ramp. Undertaker, of course, getting his revenge and walking out on his own power instead of being carried out. He did have a little help from Shawn Michaels, but still, I like this match. I would give this match a 4 out of 5 star. I just loved it. We, of course, had the match. It was John Laurinaitis' team, Team Johnny, versus Teddy Long, or Theodore Long's team, Team Teddy. Now, it was a 12-man tag team match. I didn't find this very interesting at all, of course. Team Johnny winning it because of that Hosky Eve getting involved. Zack Ryder about to set, I think it was Dolph Ziggler up for the Broski boot, doing the whole woo, woo, woo. Eve was next to him doing it. The ref came over to Eve and stopped it. Zack Ryder got distracted. Miz came up behind him. Full Nelson. Bam. Skull crushing finale. He was out. And that was for the 1, 2, 3. I'm like, oh, someone's got to stop this. Someone has to stop this. No. So I'm very disappointed in you, Zack Ryder. I'm very disappointed in you, Eve. And yes, what really catch my attention was after the match, when Eve kicked Zack Ryder downstairs. That was very sad right there. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Can she do that? She just walked out on him. Yeah, I just don't like Eve at all. I don't appreciate her. I don't like her. I never liked her from day one. I just knew that something like this was going to happen. Match rating 2.5 stars. Don't like this match, but yeah, it was okay, I guess. Anyway, yeah. And now we get to the main event of WrestleMania 28. It was John Cena versus The Rock. Once in a lifetime match. Okay, this was a okay match. It was boring at the beginning of the match, of course. It mostly is boring that they're just running back and forth, just chucking each other back and forth. Yeah, we saw a couple of arm drags. Yeah, nothing too impressive. Yeah, then we get into it where we start seeing the 5-knuckle shuffle, the spine buster, stuff like that. That's when it starts getting really good. Okay, the Rock actually won this matchup. To my surprise, I thought, oh, John Cena's going to win this matchup because he has to win it. He's like the WWE superstar. The Rock isn't a superstar. He's movies, everything. I thought this was just going to be John Cena winning it, but no. It was the other case around. It was actually The Rock winning it. This was, I saw it coming. I just saw this coming. Okay, at the very end, it's almost predictable that you knew The Rock was going to rock bottom John Cena. Because you see at the end, John Cena attempted to do the people's elbow to The Rock. He did the whole thing, did everything. He ran the one way, jumped over The Rock. The Rock jumped up when he jumped over him and was running, and he going to bounce the ropes. He got up, he ran right into him, rock bottom, the 1, 2, 3, and The Rock won the match. It was a huge celebration. Everyone was screaming in Miami, Florida. It was wild. I was screaming in my living room, going, yes, The Rock is awesome. Screaming that back and forward. I just love The Rock. Yeah, so this was back and forward. The Rock, of course, had a little bit of ring rust, but still he was showing off in this matchup. The one thing I did notice was when they were at when he was in the bear hug, John Cena had him in a bear hug. I heard the word DDT. 1 minute later, The Rock DDT'd John Cena. So I don't know what he said there, but of course he must have just been checking to see if he has to DDT him. So yeah, you've got to be careful what you say on TV, because when you're watching it at home, you can tell what they're saying. Yeah, so this match really catch my attention. 3 stars out of 5 stars. Pretty good. Not my favorite matchup. There was nothing on the... Maybe if there was a WWE Championship on the line, it might have been a bit more intense. It was okay. It was, 3 stars out of 5 stars. Pretty good. An average match. Could have always been better, though. Anyway, that concludes my reviews on and telling you what has happened in this WrestleMania 28 recall. And before I go, I just want to say one thing. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Thank you. Goodbye.